Hi, once again, my name is Ashley Billingsley, and within the next about an hour, I'm going to be taking you back in time, and we're also going to be going through some pretty cool mysteries. Now, most people find history boring, but this really isn't your everyday history show. I can just about promise you that. Today, we're going to be talking about Rome and a couple other different little segments. So, welcome to the first one, Ancient Civilizations. Today, we're going to be talking about the Roman Empire. Rome wasn't built in a day, and this show wasn't planned in a day. It was actually planned in a day and a half. Anyways, like I said, Rome wasn't built in a day. And first I want to say that all the information from this segment was found on history.com. So credits to them. I love history.com. I use it constantly. Anyways, so Rome was founded in 753 BC by Romulus and Remus. I might be pronouncing those names wrong. I'm not really 100% sure. The legend is that the two twins were believed to be the sons of Mars, the god of war. They were left to drown in a basket on the Tiber River by a king. As the two floated down, they were rescued, and the twins ended up growing up and defeated the king that left them in the river. They then took over and started their own city on the river's bed. The Tiber River is located in central Italy. I thought it was pretty cool. But of course, considering the time, there was not more than one group, they were twins. So what do we know in history if they're siblings and one of them has to be mom? One of them's gonna kill the other. That's just facts. That's just what happens. So Romulus killed his brother Remus and became King of Rome. And Rome was actually named just by shortening Romulus's name. Or gods, or not gods, kings, right? His rule only lasted 4 months, which is a little crazy, and kind of begs the question, was killing his only brother really worth it? Personally, I don't think it is, because, that's your sibling, so why would you kill him to be a king for 4 months? Anyways, little fun fact is all the kings after him were elected by a senate, and a lot of the other kings were simply referred to as rex, or king. Rome was a huge empire that encompassed Britain, much of Western Asia, Northern Africa, and the Mediterranean. Due to it being so large, it had several different languages, such as Italian, obviously, Spanish, Portuguese, and of course Romanian. Another thing is that Christianity became very, very, very widespread in the Roman Empire. So it was actually believed that majority of the Roman citizens were Christian, which I think is pretty cool because I don't know, I feel like that for it being such a big area, you would think that there'd be multiple religions, but it's just the main one. Now this next bit of information was found on nationalgeographic.com. Roman citizens lived in these crowded apartment buildings that could be as tall as 7 stories high, while the richer citizens lived in actual houses that had a dining room, open air courtyard, and often had a pool. Now, to kind of go back to my first show, is that a lot of Romans actually had vacation homes in Pompeii, which was something that we talked about in my first ever show. But so some of the people there during Mount Vesuvius erupting were Romans, but not all the Romans were free, as most civilizations did. They had slaves. The slaves would work in fields, growing crops, in the mines, mining different materials, and even worked on ships, doing work like cleaning and even sailing the ship itself. Some educated Greek tutored children, and they actually had the chance to buy their freedom. So I think that was pretty cool. And yeah, a lot of the Roman men hunted and built homes. And basically they would just do the regular things you would expect. The women did the same thing. Roman women could easily get divorced from their husbands, but the husbands would gain full custody of the children no matter what. And if the husband died, the children would automatically go to another male relative. So that's also pretty cool. And the women could easily divorce their husbands too. It was very, 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 very simple. Yes, they would have to leave everything behind, the children, everything. But they could still do it. And something that a lot of people already know is the gladiators.
So gladiators were volunteers and they were also slaves. Was another way the slaves could earn their freedom, which is pretty cool, I think. Like, I don't know, I would love to go visit the like I would love to go visit the Roman like ruins. Like, oh my gosh. I want to go there so bad. But that is it for ancient civilizations. But before we move on to deities, demigods, and daring adventures, I really, really want to go visit those ruins. I don't know when. It's going to happen at some point. Like, I don't know. Imagine being there, like, just sitting there on, like, a bench or, like, even, like, the steps of the Colosseum in the heart of the Roman ruins. Which actually brings us to our first song. This is Heart of Rome by Elvis Presley. Welcome back to Histories and Mysteries. That last song you listened to was Heart of Rome by none other than the King of Rock, Elvis Presley. For today's deities, demigods, and daring adventures, we are once again joined by my friend Jake. Jake, thank you for coming on.
Of course, I'm here again. Is anybody surprised? Looking around? Nope.
Nope.
So yes, I'm here to talk about some Greek mythology.
Well, you were the like Greek mythology king, so like you like know everything.
You could say that.
Mm-hmm. So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna tell you like guys like my little version of Medusa, and then Jake is gonna give us some more information as well as tell me what details were wrong because I get things wrong. Well,
No, you were completely right last time. You were just missing some final details.
well, yeah. Oh, last time that was Pandora's Box. Yes, yes, yes. That is a fun one. This one was fun to research too, to be honest.
It was. It's a bit of a shorter story compared to I know some of the stuff we talked about in the past.
Oh yeah. I think that next week I kind of want to talk about Zeus. So you guys gotta.
Zeus. Ooh, what about Zeus?
I don't know. That's the thing. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into Medusa. So this information was found in an article on Quora. I don't know if I pronounced that, but it's spelled Quora.com. Yes, 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 yes. See, that's why you're here. Medusa was a monster-like creature called a gorgon, but I believe she actually wasn't born that. She was. Okay, anyway.
She was not born a monster.
Okay, so I was correct. Okay, cool. She was actually like, okay, so that's my research stuff. I was like, I don't know. But she was once a beautiful woman. One person, anyway. She is represented in two different ways, both as a powerful female who was a weird creature simply wronged by a man, and she was also seen as a symbol of danger, desire, and the power of a single gaze. That's why she turned into stone. Medusa actually had sisters, which I think most stories really don't talk about. Personally, I didn't know that. But she is the daughter of two primordial sea deities that were known for their hideous appearance. She was the only mortal of the 3 children, and she was like the only one blessed with beauty. Jake is looking confused and I'm scared, but we're just going to keep continuing. Anyways, she was blessed with her beauty, and she worked as a priestess at the temple of Athena. Her being beautiful, of course, attracted a man. This man specifically was Poseidon, who was already married at the time of meeting Medusa. But of course, if we know anything about Greek gods, being married literally means nothing to them. Never has. I don't think it ever will. Anyway, so basically Poseidon lured Medusa in, and Medusa was unaware of the consequences that would follow if she went with him, and she did. Once Athena found out what happened at her temple, she was very, very, very angry, because that is supposed to be a place for peace and worship, not for like romance. But instead of punishing Poseidon for this, she turned Medusa into a gorgon, just like her parents, and cursed her with a deadly gaze. And a lot of people believe that Medusa was jealous, or that Athena was jealous of how Medusa looked, because like she was pretty and Athena was like, nah. But anyway, Medusa became an outcast and completely lost her social status. Her cursing gaze gave her a lot of power. So I guess Athena cursing her wasn't necessarily like a crazy awful thing.
It really was.
But like she was powerful.
Well, she was powerful, but like, it's kind of contradictory, because she did take an oath to Athena to forgo all male attention, but
True.
Then when the thing with Poseidon happened, the actual version, I'd say look it up at home if you're curious about the real version.
Yes.
Of course, we can't really talk about that here, I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's basically she was really, 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 really ugly, and her gaze turned anybody that saw her eyes to stone. So it was a very lonely life.
I mean, yeah, I could see that, but like, I don't know. I feel like there was other, like, just don't look her in the eyes, then you're fine.
Well, that's how she was slain.
Yeah, I'm aware. Little Percy Jackson moment there. That's where I've seen it personally. Like how Percy defeats.
Same with his
mirror.
namesake, Perseus.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what is the backstory behind that? Like
behind Perseus?
Yeah.
Actually, he was one of the few heroes that actually did get a happy ending. Along with kind of like Hercules, not really. Perseus just kind of get to live out his life, basically. He didn't become a god, but, he ended up in Elysium and whatnot.
I mean, demigod, god.
Basically
the same thing.
Eternal happiness in the underworld. It's pretty good, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's better than death, right?
It's true.
I mean, it's either you die, you go to the underworld, you die.
That's just about it. Yeah, you die to go in the underworld if you're really, 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 really bad. And Hades makes an exception. He'll send you to Tartarus. So, yeah, have fun with that.
Isn't that where that three-headed dog is? Or am I thinking of... Where's the three-headed... Where's Cerberus? Where's Cerberus
guards the gates to the underworld.
Guys, this is why I have Jake here. Because, like, I know Greek mythology stuff, but, like, then again, I'm like, on some parts, but, like...
I get it. There's a lot of names that get thrown around, so it can get confusing very fast.
Yes, oh my gosh.
How vast the world is and, whatnot.
There's, like, I don't know how many Greek gods and goddesses there are, but there's too many.
Too many.
Way too many.
Too many.
Like, I think they have one for, like, literally everything. Like,
yeah, my favorite is the god of beekeeping, because he's the only one that I could find that didn't do anything wrong.
There's a god of beekeeping?
I had to look up his name because it's been a while, but yeah, there is. Anyways, we should probably continue with the Medusa, right?
Yes, but like after this, I need to know about this beekeeping. I love bees. If you guys didn't know that, I really like bees. I'm a honey fanatic. I love honey.
Aristaeus.
Love it. Ooh, that's a pretty name too.
It is a pretty name.
Ooh, okay.
Pretty
I love
name for
that.
a pretty good guy.
Really, really, really true. So going back to Medusa, her gaze, as we talked about, held a lot of power, and everyone knew that. But like we talked about, all Greeks and gods, well, not all of them, but like the great ones, I guess, were defeated. As she was in the Percy Jackson movies, which I personally love. Have you seen the Percy Jackson?
L movies, they're garbage. Get them out of here.
They're
Garbage.
Are you
garbage.
for real?
Okay, so here's my quick take.
Okay.
As movies, they're fine. I feel like some of the writing is bad, but they're fine. They're fine as their own movies. They are not truthful to the books, and they are not truthful to mythology. So therefore, they get a
Oh.
big F- in my book.
Okay, hot take, guys. I've never read the books.
No. Oh my! You guys should be able to see the look Maggie is giving Ashley right now. Yeah, traitor, shame.
Okay, Maggie, have you read the books?
Of course.
Yes, she has.
Yeah.
Have you read the books?
Yes.
All of them?
Yes. I mean, it's been a while, but that was like my gateway into Greek mythology. Oh my gosh.
My gateway to Greek mythology was middle school, guys. That's
I'm so sorry.
Ashley
Literally
read
everybody
the books
in here
too.
other
Okay,
than you has read the
okay,
books. I
well-
bet even Jennings has read the books. Okay,
Oh,
Jennings
Jennings
doesn't read, so he
doesn't
doesn't count. Okay, well,
okay,
okay.
Bo hasn't read them either.
Well, she's in the Jennings
Okay.
boat. She doesn't read.
Okay, but like,
That doesn't count.
You seriously just asked Maggie if she's read a book. I don't even
Really? Okay.
yes,
Maggie,
I
no.
did just ask her if she read a book.
Slightly offended.
Okay, well maybe you should be slightly offended. I need more book recommendations, by the way. So if you got any,
Percy Jackson. Dude, right there. Right there.
okay, maybe I'll read Percy Jackson, like
Yes,
some of
do
it,
it.
and then by next week I'll let you guys know.
At
like,
least read like the
I
first
think
like
it's good.
3 books at least. 3, 4, 5.
The first, wait,
Yes.
the first
Do not watch the
5?
movies. Rick Warden has not watched the movies. He said, "I do not want the movies to taint my view of my own world."
There are main 5 books. Those are the first, like,
There's
6
5 main books.
They're really short. They're only like what? Like
kids' books.
yeah, they're like 300 pages maybe. Like yeah.
Then he continues on the Roman side with Nept. You guys,
Yes. Oh, I
Son of
love you for that,
Neptune?
Asher. I love you for that. You actually have read the
What?
more of the books. Yeah, read the 5 main books. It's only like probably 1,500 pages total. Maybe, yeah. I know some of the books are a little longer. Some are a little shorter.
I totally have, I totally have the time for that. You know, like I have nothing but time.
Literally, I'll just read the first one before like 2 hours before I go to sleep. Sometimes like they're not that long.
You are a nerd.
No.
Well, Jake, thank you for joining me today. It has
course.
been very fun per usual. So this next song that's coming up, kind of to me, like it sounds like, I don't know what the proper term is, like a snake enchanter. If, like anyone knows what I'm talking about, knows the actual
fancy flute sounds.
Yes, snake charmer. Yes, thank you, Jennings. Thank you. So this song also talks about Medusa. So here is Medusa. All right, guys. So I loved that last song. It was Medusa. And, like, I don't know. I really liked the vibe of it. It's not really something I would normally listen to, but I don't know. It gave, like, Snake Enchanter vibes, like I said before. Also, I would just like to say that Harvoth also hasn't read Percy Jackson books, so I'm not that crazy. I wasn't judging you. Maggie was judging you.
I was hardcore judging.
Yeah, you were hardcore judging. Anyways, so it is
I was
now-
hardcore judging.
Yes.
And if you remember last time, the story we talked about was Jack the Ripper, who only had 5 kills, and I kind of went on a little rant about that. Like 5 kills and you're considered, or 3 kills and you're considered serial killer should be more.
Magic number 3.
Anyway, so now let's just multiply that like 3 by like 100. I think that's how that works. Because Pedro Lopez, who we were talking about today, was believed to have killed up to 300 people, or at least responsible for the deaths of 300 people. So all the information for this segment was found on biography.com. Love that website. I'll give full credit to them for this. Anyways, Pedro was born on October 8th, 1948 in Santa Isabel, Colombia. His father sadly died in April of 1948, so he never really got to like meet his father. He was the 7th out of 13 children, and as a young child, Pedro was very polite, and he actually wanted to be a teacher. So like he genuinely cared about people. I don't know if you really know what happened. Well, I do know what happened, but you guys are gonna find that out later in this story because obviously 300 people is kind of a lot. So, anyways, it was known that his mother was abusive, so some believe that he ran away, but there are some reports that his mother did kick him out, which is kind of crazy because it was a polite kid, why would she kick him out?
Mentally or physically abusive?
Both. She was both mentally and physically abusive.
Okay.
Which is what I think is a huge part of the whole thing. Because like if your own mother is mentally and physically abusing you, you're gonna have some issues. Anyway, so at age 8, Pedro hit the streets. He literally hit that 8. He decided to go to the capital city of Colombia, where he was one of several homeless children. While on the streets, he ended up joining a gang and chose to do several different drugs. Now, drugs are always bad for like everyone, but it was like I think that is a huge part of. I think that's a huge
Part of why he is how he is because of the fact that his mother was abusive and he ended up on the streets doing all that stuff. So I think that was something that heavily impacted his life. But his life on the streets ended when he turned 10. An elderly American couple decided to take Pedro Lopez in. They gave him bed, food, and even enrolled him in school. Sadly, he got abused yet again, but this time it was physically by his teacher. So if that happened, like, he was already getting abused by his mom, ran away, and now he's getting physically abused by his teacher. So I think that the trauma of his mother and the teacher are what led him to run out on the streets again. He was arrested at either age 18 or 21 for stealing a car. He spent some time in jail and then was back on the streets again. But soon after he got out of jail, he was actually attacked by 2 men, and he killed both of them with a makeshift knife. Those were his first 2 kills, and Lopez really started to get a taste for murder after that. He started to like lure young women in and would kill them because that was an easy target at the time. I don't, just how that works. It's how Jack the Ripper was too. It's the same thing. Kind of a little pattern here with the men serial killers just killing women. But I mean, I guess it's kind of the same thing for Bella Guinness, though. She mainly killed, I think all her victims were men. So it's a gender thing, I guess. But he was caught in the act. He was actually caught in the act trying to kidnap a 9-year-old. So that's great. The tribe that he was like caught by attempted to bury him alive. And there was actually a tribal law where like if anyone got caught trying to do anything, So Jennings wrote on a sticky note, wait, what? Anyways, besides the point, a Western missionary actually saw Pedro trying to kidnap this chick. So he was attempted to be buried alive. Obviously, he wasn't. He was fine. But the missionary saw this and was like, hey, tribe, let me take him. And he just sent him back to Colombia. Missionary didn't know about Lopez murdering people, kind of just sent him away, which, he just casually sent away a future serial killer. I'd be pretty mad, personally, but, whatever. Like, if I saw someone kidnap someone, I wouldn't just send them back, but maybe that's just a me thing. He ended up in Ecuador, and around the time of his arrival, several other people went missing, which were both actually male and female at that time. The families would put, like, ads out in the newspapers, which he would see. He kind of, like, laughed at it and was like, whatever. Once again, he was caught trying to lure someone else away, and their father found out, handed Lopez over to the police. Lopez refused to talk to the police, as one does. So one of the officers actually decided to go undercover and act like a prisoner. And he was able to gain the details of the murders and where the bodies were buried. Following the account of where the bodies were, police went and unearthed 57 different bodies. With the confession and clear evidence, Lopez was charged with 110 murders. How they ended up charging him with 110 if they only found 57 bodies, I don't really understand. But then Lopez decided that he was going to go big or go home, or in this case, go big or stay in jail. And he admitted to about 200 more deaths in both Peru and Colombia. He pleaded guilty and at the age of 33. He was imprisoned for 16 years, and while imprisoned, he was diagnosed as a sociopath. His jail time, in my opinion, was way too short. I think he should be in prison for life if he's, like, responsible for over 300 murders. But here's where it gets good. Pedro was released in 1994 after serving only 14 years in prison. He was released because of good behavior. But then again, in 1995, he was declared insane and institutionalized in a little facility. But, so just note that he was already, like, labeled as a sociopath and insane. But then again, in 1989, he was released and declared sane. Yeah, someone who killed 300 people, went to jail, went to, like, a little mental facility. Oh, you're sane again. I don't understand how. I don't understand why he got so little jail time. I feel like he should have, like, I don't know. He should not have gotten that little time. But once he was, like, fine, I guess, he decided to go visit his mother one last time before she died. His mother at the time was not doing well. So Pedro, being Pedro, asked for his inheritance. But his mom was like, hey, I'm poor. I'm sick. I don't really have anything for you. Like, I'm on my deathbed. Here's the part that gets me ever. Lopez sold her bed. After finding out that, like, he wasn't really going to have an inheritance, he straight up, like, her mom was out, like, probably, like, a doctor's appointment or something, and he sold her bed and, like, one of her, like, chairs to someone on the street. He was like, you know what, that's my inheritance now. That's my money. That's it. That's what I got. So after selling his mom's stuff and visiting her for one last time, he vanished, although it is believed that he could be linked to a murder that happened in 2002. And I want to say, like, I don't know if he's still alive today or not. I'll let you guys know that when we come back. But there are so many things about the story that I don't understand, like how he got away with so many murders and why he was allowed to roam free when he was. I don't understand half the story, but you know what? We're just going to move on to the next song, which is actually a song that I like a little bit. It gives, like, I'm actually not going to get off topic, but, like, it's a pretty good song. So here is Viva La Vida by Coldplay. Okay, guys, that was Viva La Vida by Coldplay. So I know I told you guys I would let you know if Pedro Lopez was still alive. He is. And he is currently free, just roaming around Mexico at age 75.
Cool.
So there's
I'm not going to Mexico.
There's a guy out there in Mexico who killed, it's actually 350 people. He's 75. He's 75. What can he do? He's 75.
I don't know.
He can't do much.
People nowadays, they work out. They're fit. You don't know what a 75-year-old man can do?
Yeah, you got a point with that.
Yeah, exactly.
75
is the new 55.
Okay.
Yeah.
Disagree. Anyways, so guys, we're over halfway done with the show. I am going to sadly have to hold a segment because we are running out of time. But if you're still here, hopefully I didn't bore you too much. And it's now time for the mystery part of the show. There are 2 segments left. We're going to be staying with one. So please stay with me. I promise they're very interesting. So some of you, like the wonderful guest I have today, Magy Vincent.
Hello.
Have heard of Roswell, New Mexico, like the TV show, which we're going to be talking
TV
about in a
show.
little bit after I give you a little backstory. But I've seen a couple episodes, and I love the show. So that's what we're going to be talking about for today's crazy conspiracy. We're going to be talking about what like people believed happened and what actually happened. For my little story that I'm going to tell you guys starting out, it is all found on history.com, which, as I said earlier, I love history.com. History.com, thank you for existing. Anyways,
Are we talking about the 1947 crash?
we're going to.
Oh,
yes,
yes.
we're going to in a little bit. But I'm gonna give them a little bit of background information.
Backstory.
So let me paint the scene for y'all. Summer 1947, early morning, sheep pasture, 75 miles outside of the town of Roswell, located in Mexico. A rancher named Mac Brazel. Is that how you pronounce that? Brazel? Yes.
I think so.
Nice.
Last time I heard it.
We'll just call him Mac, if anything. So he found mysterious debris in his pasture, and the debris was like metallic sticks held by tape, chunks of plastic, foil reflectors, and scraps of something like that resembled paper. He decided to call the sheriff after hearing about the incident. The sheriff called the Roswell Army Force to come and check it out under suspicion that it belonged to them. Newsflash, it did. But the whole town knew about the incident, and the army claimed it was just a simple weather balloon. Here's where the conspiracy starts. Anyone who saw the debris had a different story, saying it was a lot larger than a weather balloon, and the materials were a lot different. So a lot of people believed that whatever it wasn't from Earth. And to make things even crazier, in 1950, the Air Base decided to test out different ways for pilots to survive falling out of their planes. The Army would throw dummies with latex skin, aluminum bones that were covered in bandages, and people claimed that the dummies looked a lot like extraterrestrial beings. So they were like throwing these, they were throwing them out of the plane.
When you said bandages, you were like, bandages. Like,
Bandages.
But that's weird.
Yeah,
That's-
they're like throwing the
That's
tossing them out of the plane.
concerning, but you know.
But like instead of like just landing the plane and getting them, no, they had people already there to immediately like grab these
Check.
dummies.
I
Were they dummies?
don't know.
Were they extraterrestrial beings?
Oh,
I don't know.
Interesting.
But sadly, the incident of whether it was a UFO from space or if it was just a balloon actually were proven. What was sent up is like a balloon with microphones attached to it, which they were hoping to have communication between the Soviet Union. So they're like, hey, if we can intercept their radio signals, then we can find out what happened. Maggie,
What?
it's time for your favorite part.
Oh, yeah.
The Roswell, New Mexico show. Maggie, what do you know about the Roswell, New Mexico show?
Okay, well, first I want to say that there was the original show just called Roswell. And it's just basically a spin-off. Roswell, New Mexico is the spin-off of that original show.
Yeah.
But Roswell, New Mexico, it is one of my favorite TV shows. And if anyone has ever heard me on the radio, whatever, you will know that my favorite actor is in that show. But basically, they taught, like, the first lines in that show is talking about the 1947 UFO crash.
Mm-hmm.
UFO crash.
Yeah.
Quotes.
Well, I mean, technically it was a UFO at the time because they didn't know what it was.
Yeah, exactly.
So unidentified flying object. It fits.
Yeah, but in the show, aliens did actually crash.
Yes.
So-
I love the show so much, by the way. I need to watch more of it.
Yeah, you need to watch
I
the
know.
rest of
I know.
it.
I'll make someone watch it with me.
Me?
Okay, I'll make you watch it with me.
Okay, fine.
Okay, fine. Glad we got that figured
Anyways,
out.
so then there are 3 aliens that they know of.
Cute
that are
aliens,
just-
might I add.
Oh, I mean,
Anyways.
Michael Glamis. He plays Michael Guerin in the show. My favorite actor. Anyways, he's an alien. Love him. Yeah.
Love aliens.
Yeah. So there are 3 aliens, and they just live in the small town of Roswell, New Mexico, and they're just trying to live normal lives. They know they're aliens. They know that they're not
Human.
normal.
They're not like humans.
They each have different specific powers to them, and yeah, someone finds out, and just go on from there.
I love it so much.
I don't want to do too many spoilers because if y'all haven't seen it, go watch it. It's on Netflix.
And I mean, hey, maybe you'll talk about it one time on your
Maybe
little
I might
show.
maybe in future episodes of The Real Melody, y'all
Mm-hmm.
might talk about it.
And you know when
It's got a great soundtrack.
When does the Real Melody come live? Is that
Tomorrow,
It's
Friday at
tomorrow?
1. We are talking about
Okay.
Sing, the movie.
ooh?
The anime, yeah. So y'all need to.
I love Sing. I'm really gonna have to be listening to that. Like,
I'm
I have
excited.
to.
I love that.
Except I love. Wait, is it like the first one or the second one?
First,
Ooh, I love
I
the
know.
first one.
so good.
So, guys, that is going to be all the time that we have today. So, tune in tomorrow for The Real Melody with the lovely Maggie Vincent.
Thank
And
you
we
very
have
much.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Now, is there anything fun happening this weekend, by the way? Got any little things planned before we end up the show?
I may or may not be playing Charlie Bucket in Hebron's drama play Willy Wonka Jr. So if y'all want to come out and see it, it's, tomorrow at 7 and Saturday at 2 and 7. So I think it's 10 for adults, 7 for students.
I'll be
So-
there. I will 100% be there.
Yay!
I'm going to try to be like, hey, anyone want to go with me? But no matter what, I will be there. I will be there. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Histories and Mysteries. I am Ashley Billingsley, and this next song is actually the final song I'm going to end you guys off on is a song from the 2019 version of Roswell,
Yeah.
New Mexico, and it is The Night We Met by Lord Huron.